Are you an arts teacher looking for guidelines for effective teaching and learning process? In this video, I will show you the some ways and strategies for effective teaching in arts, and you only gonna do is to keep on watching. Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Jess and this is me. Where we talk about arts education, which focusing on its values, its methods and strategies in teaching, and the competencies of an art teacher, and the scope and sequence of arts for grades 1 to 6. First value of arts is keeping students cool. According to Davis 3, on average, 1/4 of the students who are currently our high schools will not graduate. They will not frustrated. Instead, they will find the school enjoyable to be part with. Since through arts, they can boost their confidence. Arts classroom create safe zone to explore themselves. Create mutual respect for each other's work. Offer new bonding. It is when without classroom arts, students will lose the place that they can belong in. Offer new friends, a new group to belong in. For example, faster creating new friends out of similar interests, like band, chorus, and drama. Not just one answer. They create problem-solving skill. So they have multiple options for students to explore. Benefit of early learners or early elementary levels or early age preschool were introduced materials and tools. Commonly using the safety scissors, this cutting motions provides growth in fine motor skills. And some other materials such as crayons, paint brushes that they will assess their dexterity that is essential for writing. The benefit of it is also development in language by just making art and talking about it gives students the change to team words for basic shapes, colors, and actions. It also provide decision-making skills that will strengthen their critical thinking and problem-solving skills. And also, arts encourages them to take risks, experiment, and express themselves as individuals. Arts preserve history. When we look at history, what we are looking at? We are looking at art. The art as an outlet for students. Art is not solely reflecting culture and media, but it also looking into ourselves. By giving students art, music, theater, dance, you are exposing them to a way to have an outlet, speak out, and find themselves.
Methods and strategies in teaching and the competencies of an art teacher and the scope and sequence of an arts for grades 1 to 6.
Let us visualize this into a following scenarios that are grades 1 to 6 with emphasizing the quality and ego personality of a good teacher. But before, let's know these things before we go on to deeper examples. First, grade 1. How can we use patterns in our artwork? How can we use lines, colors, shapes, textures to make patterns? How do artists use patterns? Like movement patterns, sound patterns, word patterns. For grade 2 level, what works of art are there in our community? How can stories from our community gives us ideas for art? What can we tell people about our community through arts? And for grade 3 level, how can we use the arts to show that we know about our natural or constructed environment? How do artists use the environment? How can we tell people our concerns about the environment? For grade 4, inquiry questions. For example, how could arts expressions express what we think and feel about Saskatchewan? How do professional dancers, dramatic artists, musicians, and visual artists represent Saskatchewan? How do First Nation artists express ideas about Saskatchewan through various arts expressions? For grade 5, it's focused pop culture. Students will create and study works of art that are part of or influenced by mainstream pop culture. And also inquiry questions: how do the media and pop culture influence our lives? How could we use pop culture in our own arts expressions? And what did pop culture look and sound like in different eras in history? And for the last grade 6 levels, it's focused on identity. Creative or productive outcomes, students will create dance, drama, music, and visual artworks that express ideas about identity and how it is influenced, such as pop cultures, peer groups, cultural heritage, personal and family interests, and gender. Critical or responsive outcomes examine how arts expressions reflect diverse personal identities, backgrounds, and worldviews. To be an effective arts teacher, you need to be physically and personality appealing to your students. You have to be warm, friendly, understanding, conscious, confident, and creative. Even the fact that the pressure of ego involvement will be present to the teaching career. When teaching, students learn something they would not burn without the teacher's effort. And also, grooming and appearance, it will boost confidence in the teacher. It will attract also the attention of your students. Hala, guwapa si ma'am. Speaking voice and quality. Teachers, you need to be gentle to speak, but clearly to understand, for having a commitment to teach, not only to teach but to help. As David Osobo said, the most important personality characteristic of a teacher that extend personal commitment to the intellectual development of the students. And the importance of being yourself. And the last, personal efficiency. It brought teachers to efficient and well organized, having good relation with their professional colleagues. In that, the teacher must need to take active interest in school activities. Method and strategies in teaching arts. Note, students will best learn by doing. The teacher will first adapt the child-based method of teaching by John Dewey as we go first on basic process of teaching towards primary graders. Under this part, we have 6 strategies on teaching arts. The first one is the laissez-faire. This is the method without interference or direction, meaning the teacher will give freedom to the student to make an artwork based on his or her own imagination. The second strategies is discipline-based art education, or DBAE. Its goal is to develop an understanding and appreciation for art. This involves a knowledge of the theories and contexts of art and abilities to respond as well as to create art. The third one is authoritarian dictatorial. Teachers use a step-by-step approach to explain art concepts and principles chronologically with slides and reproductions and demonstrate skill and craftsmanship. The fourth one is assigned topic or student-oriented. Teachers use art to inspire confidence, creativity, perception, art knowledge, skill, or craftsmanship, and attitudes. And the fifth one method is media method. It is concerned with knowledge about a particular art medium and related artist. And the last is facilitator method. This method uses individual or group work. Students use their own topic, art, media, and plan. And good teachers use dramatic movement, variation in voice, eye contact, emotive face expression, lively exhibition of ideas, enthusiastic, and it's professionally dressed, of course.
Girls, attention! Oh, what's happened, Hannah? Don't cry. Priya? Say sorry to Hannah. It's not good. Okay, very good. Okay? Settle down now.
After settling in, you may now start your class discussion.
Okay, class. Do you want to play a game? Good. Since your lesson topic is all about using lines, colors, shapes, and textures to make patterns,
In this, you may use laissez-faire teaching method. This is the method without interference or direction. Meaning, you, as a teacher, you will give freedom to your students to make an artwork based on his or her own imagination.
I have a material here, and you all need to do is create your own artwork based on your own imagination.
It might be that they produce colored artwork with word patterns or movement patterns. Before you interact with your pupils, you need to see to it that you're good looking in front of them. Because by doing so, it will help boost your confidence as a teacher and it will attract your students to listen. Now, you may now declare to your students that the part included in your lesson objectives is to know the different arts in your community. So, this day we're going to the art museum. You will say,
Are you excited? Exactly. Now let's go.
after the activity, you ask them, like,
What did you observe in the artworks?
they will say,
It emphasizes the old and contemporary Filipinos life status.
for your application, you may use the discipline-based art education method of teaching. For its goal of this method is to develop an understanding and appreciation for art. For the application, you can say,
Okay? Based on these pictures of community artworks, you can also create your own artwork that promote community solidarity and humanism.
first of all, before starting your discussion, you need to clarify your students how the quality of your voice is. Is it clear to hear or am I so fast in speaking? That may avoid the difficulties in understanding the lesson. By doing so, you will definitely help the students intellectually progress faster. Just as David Oswald said, the most important personality characteristic of a teacher is the extent of personal commitment to the intellectual development of the students. And after clarifying your tone of voice, you can now proceed with introducing the lesson. Afterwards, as if you are now in the middle part of the lesson discussion and asking, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of our environment or nature in art? They may say,
Landscape teacher. Yes, absolutely correct.
now for your application, in this part, you may use the assigned topic method of teaching, where the students have already been oriented to the assigned topic given by the teacher. And this is used to inspire confidence, creativity, perception, art knowledge, skill or craftsmanship, and attitudes. Now, you may now instruct them to giving activity by group. You can say,
Based on your answered earlier, how can you tell people your concerns about the environment, about expressing it through any forms of arts?
maybe they will performing role playing on picking trashes or cleaning the surroundings. By teaching your students, you need to first set your mind to being a model of good deeds of them, showing your understanding, patience, and enthusiasm while teaching them. In doing so, you will also preserve the good qualities of being a Filipino citizen. And by seeing that good characteristic in you as a teacher, it is also an eye opener to pop culture or others' world identities and cultures. So in this phase, you may use media method, which concerned knowledge about a particular art medium and related artists. For your application, you may give an instruct to your student as follows.
You have your gadgets in your home. Make a list of arts that you think are influenced by technology and culture's identity. Maybe they included their listings such things as fashion, sports, music. Teacher.
In order to keep your students' attention and have them surely listen to you, you need to keep using your dramatic movement, variation in voice, and eye contact. As we have influenced by this powerful technology and we have then updated by the practices and beliefs of world's identity and cultures. Now, for this, you will instruct your students to apply their basic knowledge by asking how they applied it in their life.
Based on your basic knowledge, demonstrate how could you use pop culture in your own arts expressions or self-development.
Maybe they will doing
Composing creative writing such as song. Teacher.
to be a fully effective teacher. It's not enough to have good characteristics and be professionally dressed inside the classroom. You also need to have good relationships with your professional colleagues. In that sense, you must take an active interest in school activities. And as you prepare for another great journey of learning in this space, you will let your students practice demonstrating dance, drama, music, and visual art works that express ideas about identity and how it is influenced to pop culture, per groups, culture heritage, personal and family interest, and gender. And for your application, you can use the facilitator method, where the student choose their own topic, art, media, and plan. It will happen that you will instruct your students in this manner.
In your groups, create one art form by choosing from the following list: drama, dance, music, and visual artworks that symbolize the human's identity and its impact on society.
Maybe one of their answers was
Drawing or painting that promotes and shows freedom in expressing your feelings, ideas, and identity as well.